It doesn't always end with a loud slam of the door or a dramatic goodbye. Sometimes it ends quietly. At dinner, a phone left unanswered, a glance that passes right through you. Love doesn't always leave with a bang. It fades slowly, quietly. When someone starts to fall out of love with you, they don't always say it. Instead, they show it in small, subtle ways that can be easy to overlook, but impossible not to feel if you pay attention. If you notice closely enough, you'll see it. And it often starts with two things. The first change isn't dramatic or even visible at first. It's not a fight, and it's not a confession. It's a quiet shift. Their attention starts to slip away. This shift is so small that most people don't realize it until it's already started to cause damage. Attention is the currency of connection, and where someone focuses their attention shows you what they value, what they care about, and where their emotional energy is being spent. At the start of a loving relationship, attention is plentiful. It's in the way they listen to your stories, even the ones about mundane parts of your day. It's in how they notice your mood before you even say anything, how they ask questions and remember small details. They're present. They don't just hear your words, they experience you. But when love starts to fade, the first thing they start to ration is their attention. It doesn't vanish all at once. It fades like music being turned down, little by little. They still respond, but it's different now. Their eyes wander when you talk. They might still nod, still give polite acknowledgements, but the connection feels more surface level. The depth is gone. It's almost mechanical, like someone going through the motions of a role they've played too many times. Even if you can't find the words for it, you sense the change. The distance, the delays, the lack of curiosity. This isn't just forgetfulness or distraction. It's not the kind of temporary disconnect that happens when someone is tired or stressed. It's a deeper form of disinvestment. When someone no longer loves you, your inner world becomes less interesting to them. They stop asking about your thoughts, stop checking in on how you feel like they used to. If you express joy, it doesn't move them the way it once did. If you share pain, it doesn't stir the same sense of urgency or care. They might still respond out of habit or politeness, but the emotional spark is gone. They've stopped being a witness to your life, and that's a crushing thing. To be loved is to be held in someone's attention consistently, even in small ways. When you lose that, it feels like being invisible. You might start to wonder if you're being too sensitive, too needy, too much. But deep down, your body already knows what's happening. The tightness in your chest when you speak and feel ignored. The loneliness of being in the same room but feeling miles apart. These are real feelings. They're emotional data. The person hasn't physically left. They haven't made any big announcements, but they've started to check out. And you can see it in what they don't do anymore. They don't look at you the same way. They don't ask how you're doing and mean it. They don't follow up on things that matter to you. They don't remember that detail you shared last week. Their attention is elsewhere, sometimes on their phone, sometimes lost in thought, but rarely on you. This lack of attention creates a slow ache. It's not an explosion, but it wears away at you over time. If you're not careful, you might start mirroring this behavior. You shrink. You speak less, share less, you learn to hold back your own attention because it hurts to offer it when it's met with silence. This is the quiet start of emotional disconnection, the slow, quiet erosion of interest, curiosity, and care. And often it comes long before either person admits that something is wrong. When someone begins to lose love for you, one of the clearest and most painful signs is that they begin to remove you from their mental picture of the future. It doesn't happen all at once. It's a gradual creeping shift, starting deep within their mind in the spaces you can't see. At the beginning of a relationship, people naturally begin to imagine a future with each other, whether they're aware of it or not. They start to picture where they'll live, what kind of life they'll build together, how holidays will look, how they'll face challenges side by side. You become part of their long-term plans. Decisions aren't just theirs anymore, they're part of a shared vision. You're not just in their present, you've become part of their vision for what's next. But when love begins to fade, they begin to quietly undo that framework. You're no longer included in their long-term plans, and it's not that they make an announcement or explicitly leave you out. It's much more subtle than that. You start to notice that when they talk about the future, they use the word I instead of we. They start making plans without considering you. Conversations about long-term goals feel vague or evasive. When you bring up future plans, they deflect or act annoyed even if you're not pressuring them. What's really happening is that in their mind, they've already started the process of emotional separation. This shift can be hard to notice because they may still physically be there, still go through the motions, still show up for events and fulfill responsibilities, but the emotional investment is fading. You can feel it in their lack of enthusiasm about the future, the absence of excitement when discussing long-term goals. The future starts to feel like a door they keep half closed, and you're left standing outside, unsure if or when you'll be allowed back in. Sometimes people don't realize they're doing this. It can be a form of self-protection, a way of retreating inward when they're unhappy or dealing with internal conflict they haven't voiced. Rather than confronting their feelings, they start rewriting their mental script to exclude you. It makes it easier to justify the emotional distance they're creating. They've already started seeing you as a smaller part of their future. Because much of this happens internally at first, it can leave you feeling confused, disconnected. You may notice something's changed, but when you ask, you get vague responses or defensiveness. It's a lonely place to be. Still committed, still imagining a future together, while the other person has quietly moved on from that shared vision. The hardest part isn't just the lack of inclusion. It's the painful realization that the version of the relationship you thought was real is no longer shared. You might still be holding on to dreams, plans, and a sense of direction while they've already mentally and emotionally rerouted. You start to realize that your hopes are no longer mirrored. Your plans are met with hesitation or silence. The rituals of the relationship continue, but the soul of it, the mutual dreaming, the co-creation of a life, is gone. And you're left in an emotional limbo, tethered to someone who might still be physically there but has already begun to emotionally walk away. When someone starts to lose love for you, one of the most painful, subtle signs is what can be called micro-dismissals. These aren't loud arguments or dramatic rejections. They're small, subtle shifts that you might not even notice at first, but over time, they build up like rust on a car. These micro-dismissals chip away at the foundation of mutual respect and emotional safety. A small change in how they respond to your thoughts. Maybe you share something that excites you, and instead of engaging, they give a flat or a sarcastic remark. Something that once would have sparked a conversation or a laugh is now met with indifference. It's not that they disagree, it's that they don't care enough anymore to engage. They don't validate your voice, and over time you begin to feel less valued in the relationship. You might notice that your jokes don't land as they used to. They used to laugh easily, but now they barely smile or offer a condescending grin. These moments might seem small, easy to brush off. You might even rationalize it. Maybe they're just tired or stressed, but they start to accumulate. You feel it when they interrupt you more often, speak over you, or fail to acknowledge something important